full of love. Yeah, yo, my divinity is carved into eternity. My validity evolved into my currency. It's really in me, it ain't on me. I am woman, so I come with certain knowing. Cosmic star, I'm always flowing, attached to no identity. Their reality is poison, call me remedy. When I tuned into their noises, I was questioning my faith and my sanity, saying shit was never handed to me. Now speak abundance on my legacy. Free all my people through the galaxy. All is fair in love and war, so I'm pulling out my swords for the melanated star season goddesses. A lotus at my feet and a Glock 9 tucked, cause I'm all about the balancing. Eternal entity, never worry about luck. What's for me is always guaranteed. I share purity, I share loyalty, I share. I sing from the depths of my heart. Harmony inside of me, reflecting the light of my guide. It's what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love. It's what you are, a star, a star, a star. It's what you are, a star. And my orbit is full of love.
I'm past the point of complacency. Don't play with me. Chosen like Moses, I'll raise the sea. Just wait and see. Addiction and violence, ancestors had to wait on me. 120 pounds of flesh, but all this weight on me. Heavyweight champ, caterpillar to butterfly, I still sting like a bee. Land of milk and honey for the rest of my team. They was resting on me, now the rest history. Only right that I profit, I'm a walking prophecy. But I'm running this shit, runway was made for me. A flight of fashion week, fight or flight, angel wings. Bigger picture movie screens, I was the missing puzzle piece. Enemies puzzle how I pieced the shit together, I found my inner peace. My interior clean, came in chains and whips and they still want the same thing. I just wanted my freedom, I slayed every demon. R.I.P. put their name up on a T. Hibiscus tea, my cup runneth over, whole world clap for queen. I'm on an ultralight beam, I'm an ultralight being. As above so below, from the heavens and the skies to the roots of the trees. I'm screaming free the world until the whole world is free.
Welcome to the love frequency. Like we said, it's where love meets truth, healing meets alignment, and relationships return to divine blueprint. I'm your host. I'm Goddess Vontriece, Neal. And this guy over here is my hubby, the God Billy.
Yes, sir. Hey, kings and queens, peace, love, and abundance to each and every one of you. We've been waiting. We've been waiting, y'all. But we back now. Back now.
Yes, we spent over about a year now that I think about it. It's been about a year that we spent away from everybody. We were some people call it prophesying, some people call it that we were crazy. We were just a little ahead of our time.
Right.
We were mentioning some things that they just weren't feeling, and
right.
There's been a lot going on. Like I told y'all the last time, just too much going on around here.
Right.
But we promised that this time around that we were gonna come and really talk a lot about what's really important, and it's about love. And so, before we get into all this romantic love and all of that good stuff, which we will be getting to, I can't wait. But we're going to do a lot about remembering who you are.
Right.
Who are you?
Right.
Clearing all kinds of illusions. I mean, society illusions, all kinds of illusions. Your illusion, your family's illusions, your friends' illusions, and align it with the frequency that calls in what we call peace, love, passion, and purpose.
Right.
How does that sound, baby?
That sounds fantastic. Because you all got to know and understand, like, we're not coming on here, we're not teaching you anything. These things that you already know. You know all these things, you just haven't tapped into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so we're here to start a journey with you all to try to, become the best people that we supposed to be and be who we supposed to be.
Right.
And the first way we can do that, we have to understand who we are and where we come from. You know what I mean? And so we're here, and we're here to talk about it. And we know that if we do everything in love, we walk in love, talk in love, live in love. That's what the universe is going to give back.
Right.
And so that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to start this journey together. And like Wifey said, we was a little ahead of time, but I think things has kind of like caught up a little bit. But at the same time too, we're just going to get back into the essence of things. Get back into the essence of things. You know what I mean? And I think that first thing, the way she said, is gonna y'all will feel that.
Yeah.
You'll feel that.
And like I said, we might say some terms and things like that, or make some references that may not feel or you may not have heard about it. And that's okay. That's what we're here for. We want to introduce some new stuff to you.
Right.
Because the way of this world is, now I wouldn't say changing. Maybe it is.
Right.
Maybe the change is a good thing. It's changing, but it's not necessarily, I would say, changing for the bad. You just got to know how to roll with everything
Right.
that's changing, and it starts with love, and it starts, real deep to your soul.
Right. It starts, you got to understand what's going on around you. You know what I mean? Life can have you so consumed that you don't pay anything, you don't pay no attention to the sky, you don't pay attention to the birds, you don't go outside. All these things are you have to do right now in this time that we're in. You have to go outside. You have to go out and hug a tree. You got to go out and talk to just talk outside.
Talk to yourself.
You got to take your shoes off. You got to get grounded. These are things that you have to do because we're going back to where we were. We have to connect back with nature.
Right.
We have to do that. And the
Before there
first
was civilization.
right. And the first way we're going to do that, we're going to have to start loving ourselves. We got to start loving ourselves. Everything starts with self. There's nothing outside of self. We look for satisfaction and things like that outside of us, and we're never going to find that. You're never going to find that what you're looking for outside of yourself is all within you.
I'm glad you said that, because I was like, before, we get a lot of people sometimes that ask us about us and soulmates, how do we meet and stuff like that. And I'm like, and they're like, tell me, what did you do? How do you do it? What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to meet guys. It's hard to meet girls. And I'm like, okay, wait. So before we can actually talk to you about soulmates and healing relationships and divine unions, we have to talk about the one person that you're guaranteed to have a journey in this life and a lot of other ones. Note that. Okay. We got to talk about that person first.
Right.
And that person is who, baby?
It's you. It's
You.
me. It's her. You know what I mean?
Right.
Regardless of what's going on, you're going to always be on a journey with yourself. You're going to always be on a personal journey with yourself. But when you're looking outside of yourself on that journey, that's when you never reach that point where you're trying to get to.
That's right.
There's no stimulation outside of you. That's why when you go out, you might go out, you like, hey, you know what I mean? Somebody might call you and be like, hey, let's I'm doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. And then you go out, right? And you that moment in time, you having fun. You having fun. But when you rise that next day, you're miserable. You're miserable. You're like, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have drank all that. What I drunk, I should have danced all night, whatever you've done.
Right.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that, say if you reverse that and say you said that, hey, I'm gonna go myself and I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna go to a bar and I'm gonna sit down by myself and I'm gonna have me some drinks and listen to me some music and dance, and see that next day you'll rise and you'll feel fantastic. And what I mean by that is, when you went with the friend and did that, that was outside of you. When you went with yourself and did what you did, you found more satisfaction. That's what I meant by what I was saying.
You felt more free.
Right. Right.
I guess it's more being more free.
Right. So yeah, so it's just about loving yourself. And when you start loving yourself, you got to start creating boundaries and things. Loving yourself is going to create boundaries because if you're not loving yourself correctly, you're not giving whoever's in your life the love that they deserve.
Right.
You're not.
And I would also add that if you're making decisions on you based on fear, that's where it really kind of is rooted and started. Fear of being alone, trying to please other people
Right.
and what they want for you, when they probably have know who you are. You're all knowing about who you are
Right.
and what you want in life. And so anytime you're kind of and that's what, Billy, I think that you mean by like looking outside of yourself as well. When you're looking outside of what looks civilized, what looks like it makes sense to someone else and not just you.
Right.
You are making decisions, whether that's a relationship, a career, it doesn't matter what it is. You are making decisions based on a set fear in your subconscious.
Right.
And that's when, some things
Right.
go wrong
That's what. That's
and
when.
stuff.
That's when that peace and that love and that joy. That's where you can't get your hands on it.
Hmm.
You can't get your hands on it, or you might grab it and bam, it's gone. You know what I mean?
Might last for a little
Right,
bit.
right. But when you love yourself, I promise you, when you start loving yourself and you start creating these boundaries and you start, because we talk about all the time being humble, and I tell her all the time, you only got to be humble around people who have less than you, because if the person that's with you have what you have or more,
Hmm.
they're pumping you up to be the best you can be.
Hmm.
So humble is just the area where you at.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? Humble is to me means to be less. And we're not here to be less, we're here to be more. We're here to be great.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So go ahead, brother.
Yeah. You know. So we're gonna unpack and we're gonna get into a lot. Today's session today is called "Return to the Heart."
Right,
We're gonna be healing, awakening, and sacred love are the topics for
right,
today. And about returning to the heart, we were like, okay, well, we got to return back to the people, but the way we return it back to the people is with our hearts.
right,
We are really into your whole self, mind, body, and soul,
right,
and healing. And we want love for everybody.
right.
We do.
Absolutely.
We want love for everybody, but we do want you to first of all love you,
Right,
because you can't put that responsibility of loving you and what voids you're not feeling for yourself for somebody else to do. So you have to do that for yourself.
right. You got to start giving yourself credit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Start appreciating you. You got to appreciate who you are.
Right.
You going on these jobs, you working all day long. You understand what I'm saying? So when you accomplish them goals and do what you do, start giving yourself credit. Start patting yourself on the back, because last thing I remember when I haven't seen nobody come from the sky and do no work for you. You was in there doing it yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. You know what I mean? With taking your power back.
Right. I got a question for you.
Yes.
Um, what would you say, or can you remember the first time that you realized you needed to love yourself more?
Um,
And everybody, you can ask yourself that. I want you to
right.
really think about that too, and you can engage with this if you want to. We're not being too formal here.
Right.
So if you're looking at us and viewing us, feel free to engage with us on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. We're watching all, and we'd love to chat with you. But he's probably gonna throw me some questions too, or the same question.
Right.
But I
No,
just
I'm not.
want to
No, I'm not gonna do
answer.
that. I ain't gonna do that.
But what could you say was the first time you realized you needed to love yourself more? Have you
Um,
always just loved
no,
yourself like that?
I've always loved myself, but I didn't love myself the way I supposed to. It was always halfway love. You know what I mean? Because, like I was telling you, one thing about loving yourself, you have to have boundaries in your life. You know what I mean? And once you able to create boundaries in your life, you start appreciating the love that you give others. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because sometimes you can, like me, I was a person that when I love with everything in me. You know, sometimes when you have that kind of love, that kind of love doesn't come back. You know what I mean? So you got to create boundaries, man. And I really realized how who I was and how I was supposed to be was, during my awakening. When I had my awakening, I understood who I was and what I was and what I came from. And I realized that I was so much more than what I was doing, so much more than how I was acting, so much more than, you know, being who I was. I supposed to have been so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And I had so much to give, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I basically had to get to this point, and it was a journey. It was a journey. I had to do a lot of shadow work. I had to go in the dark and a lot of character defects that I have. And I'm not perfect, far from perfect. It's a journey. But I had to go inside of me and face those demons.
Mm.
I had to go inside of me, face them demons, and every time I knock one down, that my light shines more. So what you're looking at is a product of working on self. You're looking at right now a product of somebody who learned to love themselves, and so by him being able to love himself, he's able to love everybody he comes in contact with.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right.
that's, I would agree
Right.
from what I've gotten to know about you before, as we were dating, and um, as well as engagement and getting married, and still in that journey, hopefully forever.
Mm-hmm.
You do love hard.
Yeah.
You're very passionate, and it
That's
takes a very
that's that Scorpio, y'all. That's
it
that
takes a very
Scorpio.
strong Virgo to deal with a spicy Scorpio. Before you look around, you're like, "What did I do?"
Right.
That's okay. All right. All right. So you know,
What did you think? What you think about that question? And give me your insights and your input. What you thought?
but as far as for me, like when
Right.
I realized I needed to love myself more,
Right.
I will have to say, um, I woke up one day and it was literally like that. I woke up one day and realized that it wasn't fair for me to ask someone to love me in certain ways that I wasn't doing, or I couldn't remotely describe how I wanted it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're saying, well, you just don't love me. I don't feel like you do. I don't feel like you're doing anything. I had to
Sean, you
figure
right.
that out. What's up with Sean? What's
No,
Sean?
he said the first time I realized I needed to love myself more was when I started loving people less.
That will happen.
That come from Shine Blunt, y'all. That's Shine Blunt.
That will happen. That will
Right,
happen.
right.
Especially, and I would say it was probably what I would probably say is when I felt like that love wasn't being reciprocated back. I was given a lot of me, and so my cup was not, was like depleting.
Right,
And
right.
I was like, gosh. And then after a while, I look back, I couldn't figure out what I had left for me.
Right,
So,
right.
you know,
Love gotta be love can't just be for the having fun and things like that. Love got to be when I'm doing something wrong, you tell me.
hmm
Love got to encourage me to do better. Love got to you get together
right,
and you growing and you coming up with game plans trying to be better. That's love.
right.
That's love.
That's right. That's
You,
right. I
you know what I
mean, we
mean?
challenge each
Right,
other.
right,
You know, we'll get into the whole soulmate thing one day because that comes with it.
right.
You get paired with somebody
Right,
that's gonna help you elevate and grow.
right.
And I will tell you that, recognizing that first and foremost, I had to do that. And a lot of people on TikTok and Facebook and all of that don't know my personal story, but I was married one time before. And I had to kind of sit back and say, you know what? It's not me, it's you. Well, no, it's not you, it's me. And I had to figure out what it was that I needed to love me more so that I could be able to share that kind of experience um, another time in my life, which, I was definitely given that wonderful opportunity. And I'm much stronger now because I have a lot of love for me
Right,
first. I don't take like those boundaries you were talking about. Oh,
right.
yeah, I don't.
Right. Right, you gotta start having them.
have
You got to have
boundaries.
start having them, man, because when you start having those boundaries, the other person that's on the side of that boundary, they'll start understanding, what to do and what not to do too.
Hmm.
They'll start understanding that. With boundaries, people start understanding.
Yeah, yeah. It's a healing situation.
Right, right, right. And that's what boundaries do. It heals. It heals. It makes relationships better. It makes things better because if the other person understands when you put that boundary up that they know they have to come to you better, they got to come to you correct,
Hmm.
your relationship will be stronger.
What's some boundaries? What do you mean by that? Because some people, is that was the same thing as deal breakers? A lot of people talk
Right.
about deal breakers and stuff like that. Like, what's an example of a
I
boundary?
don't know. I don't even understand what a deal breaker is because I don't. I guess I just don't look at things like that. Like somebody can do something to, what I mean, make me just say, you understand?
I don't
Like,
love you.
right, right.
Yeah.
No, I don't look at that. I just mean whatever I give, I want back. And so when I mean love, when I say I love you, I'm giving you my time.
Mm.
My time. When I say love, I don't want anything from you. Nothing. All I'm asking for is your time, because that's how I envision love to be. Time. Whatever you spend your time on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to your baby's graduations. I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna be everywhere. You know what I mean? But I want you to be everywhere too. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
so that's kind of like those kind of things or boundaries that you have to sit back and say, well, man, I'm putting in a lot of work. I'm putting in a lot of me, but a lot of you is not coming back. So when you
Mm.
start doing things and you got to sit back and you asking yourself questions, you're dead wrong. If things are going on in your life and you're asking questions and calling people, asking them, did somebody do this or did somebody? Oh, they did it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to be asking nobody nothing when you can just pay attention to you.
Right.
Just pay attention to you.
Right. You kind of fell into my next question. It was like, how do you know when you're out of alignment with your own self love?
You can feel it. You can feel it. Like me. I can be on the phone talking. Say I'm talking to somebody on the job, and they get to talking to me and keep asking me a whole bunch of questions and stuff, and I start feeling out of alignment of that. I'm like that. Well, excuse me. I'm like, come on now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm feeling out of myself now because I'm feeling like I'm answering too many questions. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's like an out of alignment to me. You know what I mean? Or like, but let me see. Let me think of something else out of alignment. When something don't go right, just basically when things don't go right, when you putting your best foot forward and things are not going right, that can get me out of alignment sometimes, and I have to sit back and have to go inside me and bring that thing back. I
Yeah.
have to bring it back. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like everybody else.
Right.
I'm just like everybody else, but I'm just not gonna let it beat me down. You know what I mean? I'm just going to, it's gonna bump me in the head, but it's gonna bump me in the head, but I'm right back up. I'm right back up.
Mm.
I'm right back up, and I'm right back at it. So
What kind of things can you tell yourself? Because I know I do a lot of affirmations
right,
and things like that to kind of boost up. Um, some people call it morale, but really it's like my frequency.
right,
I raise my frequency by talking to me and telling myself how proud I am of myself. Even if I've had a crazy day, I was proud that I doggone got through it. And I didn't, because we can always be our own self critics a
right,
lot. But what is it? Some things that you do to like raise your vibration again for yourself.
right. I listen, y'all. This remedy for me. It's music.
Mm,
It's music. I can put my boy Free Soul on, and I'm trying to tell you, he takes me to another realm. It takes me to another realm. You know what I mean? So music, just talk to myself. Talk to myself all day long.
hmm.
I am. I tell myself I am
I
everything.
am.
I am the trees. I am the wind. I am the
Hmm.
grass. I am the sun. I am the stars. I tell myself all that because I understand and know that I am connected to all that.
Yeah. I watch you. You go outside
Right.
and you do what's called grounding. And for those of you that are new, kind of like into that whole realm of things, you probably are starting to hear a lot more about wellness opportunities around grounding. And what does that mean? That's going outside, shoes off, put your feet on the ground.
Right.
And you would be surprised if you have a backache or whatever is going on with you, even a cold. I've had all these little experiences, and he'll say, you know what, you're out of alignment. You need to come
Go
outside
outside.
and you need to ground with me. So I would say that for me, grounding has been also, aside from affirmations, because when I'm out there, I'm in my mind, clearing it and doing those affirmations, and I'm grounding, and I'm trying my best to, and I don't like saying try, because I
Yeah,
just do.
yeah, you just do.
I'm like
Right,
Nike. I
right,
just do.
right. Even
Um,
when you try,
even when even when I'm trying,
you doing.
I'm doing.
Right,
I'm putting one foot in front of the
right.
other,
Absolutely.
and because at these times you got prices going up on a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure it's getting tough for people, and you're like, gosh, you know, this world is changing and changing and changing, and if you don't change with it,
Right,
it can really hit you.
right,
And so, loving me, I go out and I do ground. I look up at the stars. I look up, I go outside. We sit on the front porch at night
right,
and we'll kick on the music, because, like he said, music, it kind of it warms the
right.
soul.
But it's all about,
Yeah, but it's the
but
kind of
yeah, the
music.
kind of music,
We don't just
because
go out there listening
your
to anything.
intake, what you're watching and what you're taking in
Hmm.
plays a big um, emphasis on your reality,
Yeah.
on your reality. So if you're looking at chaos, 9 times out of 10, chaos is in your life. You understand what I'm
It's
saying?
gonna attract
Right,
to
right.
you.
That's the whole thing. That's we're gonna get into that right there too.
Hmm.
But yeah, you just music like 80s and 90s R&B, just music. Because I was just talking on live earlier today on Facebook, and I tell you, um, you can tell people that they're great. You can tell people that they're kings and queens, but people don't believe it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They don't believe it. It's like people think I'm kind of crazy because I'm telling them that they're more than what they think they are,
Hmm.
and I don't understand it. I've never understood how somebody can call somebody crazy because somebody's telling you that you're great. Somebody's telling you that you are what you've been looking for.
Hmm.
Somebody's telling you that you need to love you more. Somebody's telling you to take your power back. Somebody's telling you to clap for yourself. I've never heard somebody say somebody was crazy for somebody telling them that, but I guess it's the way that I'm telling them.
Well, you tell the truth,
Absolutely.
and sometimes that truth is hard, but it'll set you free.
Right, right, right.
I would say that yes, I hear you, because when I go back and I listen to some of the music that I had been listening to before I became a little bit more awake about some things. um a lot of people say, well, I just listen to the music, to the beat. I don't get into the words. And I had this conversation with my daughter, my soon to be 14-year-old daughter. She was bebopping to some song. It had like this nice fast beat, but then the words, oh my goodness.
Right.
And I said, are you listening to the words? And she's like, no, I'm just listening to the beat. I said, you think so? You think you're just listening to the beat, but in your conscience, it's sinking in.
Right.
And in that particular song, there was a dude talking.
Already Abdul Johnson. What's good, Cuzzo?
Yeah, the dude was talking about how he didn't want a relationship with no girl. He just wanted to sleep with the girl, and it was very casual. Like, that's just okay. And I'm like, you're only 13 years old. You shouldn't even, first of all, be listening to this. But things we take in
Right.
sink in, whether you think it do or don't. Like, we can all go out and have fun and party and twerk and doing all those things. However, once you start to grow up, you start to glow up.
Right.
And then those things don't seem to be the most appropriate things to do all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Depending on what you're
Right,
listening to.
right. And just like we say, prime example. We right here on this camera, y'all see this green. It look like this green glowing too. It's glowing. You understand? But it's power in this color.
Mhm.
It's power in this color
That's why I'm
because it
laying green.
represents your heart.
Right.
It represents your heart.
Mm.
So people see it and they don't understand the energy that this color gives off.
Right.
It gives off a vibration and a frequency. And we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get
Mhm.
into that. So just understand we're wearing this green today because we're working out of the heart chakra. We're coming in love, and we wear the green to show you all that that's what we represent. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Mhm. Mm. Yeah. I agree. That the color you kept asking me, baby, what color we wearing, and I was like, well, our colors are green because we come from the heart chakra,
Mhm.
and we went into our closets.
Right,
We
right, right,
were like,
right.
okay, we got this green, and
Because I wore green our first one, so it felt good. The first episode we ever did,
oh,
I wore green. So just like
that's
we shut down and we crank it back up. So when you said green, it was perfect. It was already where I was at.
yeah.
So that's what that energy and that frequency and vibration. When you on one accord, everything aligns.
Mm. Now we talk about frequency and vibrations and love, right?
Right.
So can you dive a little bit more into what you mean by that? Like, what is like frequency, and when it comes down to love, like, is that a feeling? Is it
Right.
what is that? Because a lot of people get that confused.
What confused love?
Love.
Love is everything. It's a feeling. You know it. You know it when it hits you.
Hmm.
You know it when it hits you. But it's love can also be somebody can love you for what you do for them.
Mm.
Someone can love you that you party with them on the weekends every weekend.
Hmm.
Somebody it's all so many different types of love, but the ultimate love is somebody getting outside of themselves for you.
Hmm.
And so when somebody's getting outside of themselves for you and doing things for you that they normally wouldn't do, they love you. They
Hmm.
love you.
Hmm.
So, but dealing with frequencies and vibrations and love and things like that, if you're at a say you're sad or say things are not going right for you and say life is coming at you every which way but loose and say you're not loving yourself properly. So if you're not loving yourself properly, that means that you're basically at a low vibrational state. So when you're at a low vibrational state, it's easy for you to get sick. It's easy for you to be hurt. It's easy for you to be in anger. It's easy for all the negative things can happen to you.
Hmm.
So if you're feeling like that and you're vibrating at that frequency, that's what kind of love is going to come your way.
Ooh,
That kind of frequency.
that hit.
So when you in one relationship and you say that one in and then you get a nut and then that's when you like, oh man, it's the same thing. It's not the same thing. It's you.
Ooh.
It's you. It's you. You have to love yourself more because if you did, we just talking about those boundaries. If you loved yourself more, you wouldn't nobody keep falling into the same tricks and the same cycles.
Hmm. Hmm.
So love is when you're coming from the heart. When you're vibrating in love, that's the only thing that's going to come back your way.
Yeah.
If you out
That's how
in
you
if you
attract that.
yes, if you out of alignment with that vibrating in love, things will start looking kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But when you get back into that frequency, it picks right back up where it left off at.
Right. Absolutely. You we talk about the boundaries and stuff like that, but you also have you got some folks
Can
that
I
play.
can, can I say one more thing,
Yes,
baby?
baby.
And I didn't
Absolutely.
mean to cut her off, but I just
No.
want y'all to understand when we say vibrations, like this table right here, you all, you see it's just sitting right here and it's still. We can't see it vibrating, but it's vibrating.
We are.
Yes, we're vibrating. This here is vibrating. Everything is vibrating. We just can't see it because we only see what we can see from that light spectrum. But like I say, the frequency and the vibration of the planet is rising.
Hmm.
And so that's why this energy is so strong on the planet now. You know what I mean? So when you're doing I say fuckery, that karma's gonna come right back to you faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You remember how you be like, when that karma gonna get them? Now that karma get them the next day.
Yeah.
If your heart is not vibrating out of that love, out of that heart chakra, that love, souls are checking out now.
Yeah.
Souls are checking out now. You know what I mean? We are in crunch time. We are in crunch time.
They say you gotta get your heart ready.
Right. Because we're going through judgment.
That's right.
We're going through judgment. Y'all looking up in the sky, y'all seeing all them suns up there. This is judgment. We're going through judgment. That's Christ up there.
There's a lot going on.
Y'all looking for you looking for a man, and it's the sun. You looking for a man to come out the sky, and it's the sun. And then you think about that. You say, well, hey, I'm condensed sunlight myself.
Mm.
I am sun broke down.
I'm a star.
I'm a star. Well, go ahead, baby. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, but I was just gonna say that, just as much as we have folks that want to find love and things like that and looking all outside and everything,
Right.
you also have folks that have kind of like, I don't want to use the word settled, but they have settled to being by themselves.
Right.
And
they're not meant to be. Nobody's meant to be by themselves. You know what I mean? Like that's
Right.
not even nobody's happy by themselves. People are saying they're happy by themselves. They're not being honest with self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? People tend to when life ain't going the way they go, they shift the energy and put it into other things. You know what I mean? Like they put it into their kids, or you know what I mean, or they put it into something else. Ain't your kids are always going to make you happy? You're going to always love your kids, but your kids is not going to give you that piece of your heart that you're looking for.
Right.
They can't feel that.
Right.
They can't feel that. You understand what I'm saying?
And they
It's not going to
leave.
happen. Right.
They're
Right.
supposed to go.
Right.
They leave and they
Right.
start their own
Everybody,
families.
every last person deserves love.
Yeah.
And in my mind, in my heart, I manifested for you because you all deserve it. But at the same time, too, I understand and know too that you're not loving yourself the way you're supposed to. I understand that, and I understand that so much to the point that I know you're not loving yourself because you're going outside of yourself for something, and it's in you.
Right.
So you'll never be able to get this. You'll never be able to get the source.
I call it the self-love
Right.
trap.
Right.
Is are you loving yourself or are you avoiding growth? Because
Right.
a lot of times, let's just face it. Sometimes you get into certain relationships or with people, with coworkers. It doesn't matter. Relationship is a relationship, and a lot of times they're there for your growth,
Right.
to show you where you're not loving yourself.
Right.
To show you where you don't have those healthy boundaries in place.
Right.
To get you to wake up. That's an awakening
Right.
experience.
Like I told you, I post videos, man, talking about this same kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you came on this ram, you came through your mom, you picked her. She didn't pick you, you chose her. So whatever your mom's life was, that's the life that you chose.
Mm-hmm.
So that journey through that is what you're supposed to learn. You're supposed to awaken to the truth. Because when you come, this is school.
We're supposed to get better.
Right.
Each generation is meant to get better.
Yeah, but we're
I'm pretty sure.
up.
Well, it depends, because I think like we were given an opportunity to birth a new one.
The generations,
and it's totally different than the other ones that I had.
The generation before us let us down, though. They did, but it's not their fault. You know what I mean? It's not their fault. But at the
everything
same time,
got lost.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, it wasn't their fault. But we can't blame nobody. You can't blame nobody for systematic things. You can't change that.
Right.
You can't change that.
Right. But I do feel like there's some real work, and we call it shadow work in the spiritual world here. That is something that you really just can't avoid.
Right.
And not all the time that you have to do it exactly by yourself, but it is a very painful sometimes.
Right, that's the only way. That's the only way you're gonna. That's the only way you're gonna become that diamond. You got to go in and do that by yourself.
Mm-hmm. And it's good to be around people that's gonna tell you the truth about you.
Because the only person know what's going on with you is you.
Is you.
You're the only person that knows.
Right. Right. But like I said, those experiences, they do help you
I can be around
discover.
you. Yes, I can be around you and pick up, on your characteristics and your habits and know when something's bothering you and things like that. But solving it got to go through you.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk to you about it all day long. You're not going to get that answer that you want until you go inside of you.
That's funny because we're yes, you, my husband, we have different tactics or different ways of handling situations.
Oh, right.
And I just feel like you bring like a fire, and they want you to drag the puzzle. They want to make sure that it's you. We having a little technical
No,
difficulty.
keep going.
Okay, you can focus with me.
No, you keep going.
Okay. But what I was saying was you bring the fire, and I'm kind of, like a little laid back a little bit more on my responses. And so if I ever ask him how to handle something, which I do, I ask him a lot of times how to handle a certain situation. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna handle it in the best way that my soul knows how, and not how he would intend for me to do it.
I lost it.
You lost it?
I ain't going back on there.
Oh, okay.
TikTok's something else, y'all. Listen, I love TikTok, but good God, you hear me?
We had a journey.
Gracious. This
They
man,
not ready for
they
that.
screening you on there, boy.
Yeah, they screaming you on that. They thought we were robots just now. Billy, you didn't prove many wrong.
No, it had red. It was red flagged on. It was red. It was flagged.
It was flagged.
Yeah, they said something about some stuff. They something in there detecting things. Ain't trying to hear all that.
See what happens when you're talking about love,
right?
And how
right?
it gets blocked.
Because doing these podcasts and doing us coming back, man, we're gonna get into all this stuff, man. I'm tired of the men bashing women and the women. I am sick of that narrative, man. That is a narrative that is being pushed on us. It's being pushed on us. You know what I mean? And we getting caught up in it.
Yeah.
We getting caught up in it. We gotta love each other. We gotta love each other. No more of that. No more of that.
Right.
And then you gotta understand, man, these guys getting on these podcasts, man, these dudes with, part of my friends, these dudes ain't getting no ass. These dudes ain't go get no ass, and then they on here trying to tell somebody how they supposed to be and what a woman is and what a man is. You understand? We gotta get out of that.
Confused.
Right.
I've seen a couple of confused
man, we gotta get out of that, man. These jokers ain't getting no ass. You understand me? Before they start podcasting. You feel me? I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I mean? So yeah, we gotta get out of that, man. We gotta get away with that hating each other. I'm sick of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sick of that.
That too. I have to say that about the ladies too.
Right.
We definitely got to get out of, wanting the millionaire, and we not trying to go get the million ourselves.
Right.
Come on now. If you want the million, go get.
Try
to get it yourself too.
Yeah. But not even that though. You know what I mean? We got to get to want to love each other for somebody bringing joy into your life, man, making you happy.
Right.
All those other things, those materialistic things,
they
will come.
Cease.
Right. They will come. They will come. They will come as long as you're loving each other and then you're in alignment with each other. Those things will come. You got to get in alignment and love each other first.
Right.
And you can't go into it wanting the millions already. Good God. You know what I mean? You want the millions first. Hey, good gracious. You know what I mean? But we just, this is just, we just conversating, y'all. We laughing about it. We keep hard making funnies about it. But y'all know what we talking about. We just saying we got to get back to loving each other, man.
We do. We
got to get back to loving each other. It ain't what somebody can do for somebody else. It's us being together and we protecting one another and everybody being safe. Because that feminine energy is here, man. It's here. That matriarch energy is here, and we got to get back to protecting these queens.
That's right.
We got to get back. We got to get back to protecting them. And once that order there is in there, once we got order that way, everything else is going to fall right into place. So we just got to get back. We got to understand who we are as a people. And I love everybody. Now, don't get it twisted. But like I keep saying, I tell my wife all the time, I love everybody. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to ever think that I might be like racist or something like that. No, I'm far from it. I deal with people in energy, frequencies, and vibrations. If your if your frequency and vibration right, I can rock with you. I don't care what color you are.
Right.
You understand? But at the same time too, my information that I have is for my people. And
Right.
so I have to give it to them how they supposed to get it.
Raw and
Right.
uncut.
I can't sugarcoat it. That's just like we going to school, going to 1 through 12, and they talking about slavery, and the same people that's in the classroom, which they look at as the colonizers. You understand what I'm saying? So can't nobody, I don't want nobody to be upset with me for me telling my people and stuff who they are when we sat in classrooms with everybody and they were telling us that we were slaves. You understand what I'm saying? So, I just want, that's what I just want to throw that
You
out
better
there.
do your research.
Yeah, love is love. I love everybody, so don't get it twisted.
Right.
But my message is for my people. My people
we
gotta
gotta
understand.
ways to pick up
Right.
and grow from here. That's
Right.
So I think that's the journey that you're saying is that um although everybody, pretty much went to school together
Right.
and sort of learned the same thing, but there was still some kitchen table talk.
Right. Right.
That there was some education of some things that we didn't know that we now know that we need to really understand and understand, because there's going to be some change in this world. It's already happening.
Right. Right.
And a lot of it is distraction.
Everything that's going on TV, everything you're seeing with Trump. Because I got a lot of my people. They so caught up in Trump and stuff. Listen, y'all stop posting that bullshit for real. Let it go. I keep telling y'all that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They are distracting y'all from y'all looking up and you seeing 2, 3, 4 suns in the sky.
I saw a star
You
this
understand?
morning.
There's so much stuff going on.
Venus was
Justice is here.
Yeah.
Justice is here. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And what's going on is that it's a people here that is of the sun, and there are people here that's not of it. And the people here that's not of it, they are fighting against it.
Right.
That's what's going on. And they're distracting you all for you all to not know what's going on or to tap into what's going on because they know you're easily to be distracted.
Absolutely.
They know this.
They do. That's
They,
why
they know I'm on here right now. They know I'm on here right now talking about all this stuff, and they say, "Yeah, them jokers ain't gonna watch this shit." I'm just
interesting what
listen,
we
man.
know.
Listen, I'm just giving it real. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real because that's what they think. That's what they think.
I know.
They think we so dumbed down. They think we so dumbed down as a people, and I'm talking about everybody, every nationality, all that. They think we are the stupidest people ever.
Stupid human.
Right. They hit us with the Puff Daddy and stuff. You looking at you looking at the Puff. First person who testified was Cassie, and didn't Cassie just sign a lawsuit? Now, jokers act like they ain't even never been to court before, like they don't know what the system do, or you feel what I'm saying? Didn't Cassie just sign like something saying that she was gonna get paid and she couldn't speak about that no more?
Even paid the guy that she's pregnant.
Right. So how did she get to come back and testify on this man again? Listen, they are playing in your face. It is distractions. You understand me? The more drama, the more you in. Baddies, Zeus Network. That's what they know. Those type of things is going to distract your mind. While they when Baddies is on Friday night. Friday evening, they done already put it right by your face what they were gonna do to you. You distracted. You distracted. You distracted. You distracted. I keep telling you, outside stimulation got you distracted. You can't even sit down and spend time with yourself. Because you sit down and spend time with yourself, you will see everything.
Yeah.
You see
Things
everything.
you don't want to see.
Right, yeah, right. You see it.
That's that shadow.
So yeah, my people, man. Listen, my people, turn the news off, turn the TV off. That's what they didn't. And I don't even like that song, and I don't even follow him because I know he's part of a system too. But didn't he tell you to turn your TVs off?
Who are you talking about? That
Kendrick,
Kendrick,
he did.
Turn the TV.
He said
But
it.
he also told him that this is all a game.
Right. He said, the revolution be televised. Listen, turn your TVs off. He told you that. He basically telling y'all to turn your TV off and take your ass outside.
Go outside.
That is what he's saying.
I think next podcast we might try to make it outside.
Yeah, make it outside. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, that'll be beautiful. That'll be beautiful.
We're gonna try to make all this production.
Right.
Outside.
Do it outside. Yeah, that's what he tell you. Man, listen, man, let's turn that damn TV off. They call the TV the stupid box.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, they call the TV the stupid box. That's what they call it.
If you break it down, what is it?
Television.
Vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell a lie. But yeah, they call the TV the stupid box. You feel what I'm saying? Turn that shit off, man. Turn that shit off. Go outside. I'm sorry, y'all. Because I get excited when I start talking about stuff like this, man. Because I love y'all so much. Let me put that down. I love y'all so much. I get excited when I talk about this kind of stuff. But yes, turn your TVs off, man. Go outside.
Yeah.
Go outside. All right, I'm listening. Go outside. When we get off this right here, we're going outside.
We are.
You feel what I'm saying?
We got 3 minutes, so
right.
I'm gonna go ahead and should I go ahead and play the free soul? I'm gonna play my free soul song.
So listen, man, this was the first episode, y'all. Back.
We back. If y'all want whatever y'all want to talk about, y'all hit us up. Y'all can just DM us or whatever, hit us up, and we'll talk about it.
And also give us some feedback too. Constructive criticism is a must. You understand? That's how we get better.
Right.
That's how we get better as people. And like I said, this is here. I want this. This is for all of us. Mm-hmm. This is for all of us. For all of us to grow. Mm-hmm. For all of us to grow. For all of us to share and pass knowledge and information to each other. Because I told y'all, knowledge and information is the new currency. This money stuff is getting ready to be obsolete.
Talk about that.
Yes, it's about to be. So knowledge and information is the new currency. We have to share what we know. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to come together, y'all.
I tell people this is a portal.
That's why we're talking about loving each other.
Love frequency is a portal.
That's why we're on here, because we're going to have to get it together, y'all. We got to get it together. Get it together. It's getting hotter. The more hotter it gets, the more information's going to come out. All the information is coming out now because of that sun. Stop watching the news. Damn Trump, damn Vance, damn the Pope. Damn, who else is there? Barack, damn Michelle.
You mean all the government?
Right, yeah, damn them people, you hear me? Listen, damn them people.
We're gonna get
go outside. Go outside. If you want to do anything, go get you a telescope.
Ooh. We got one. We got a couple.
Right. If you want to do something, you want to watch something, go get a telescope and start going outside and paying attention to the stars. I can't see over there.
Oh, you can't see over there?
But
see,
yes.
I look up all the time. I'm sorry, y'all.
So yes, y'all, start going outside. Turn that damn TV off. That TV is that stupid box.
All right.
The people. That's why a lot of us we can't think now. Because all we do is watch TV. Mm-hmm. You remember? You ever seen what was that movie when Jim Carrey sat in front of the TV all day long? Cable Guy.
Oh,
you ever see the Cable Guy? And he sat in front of the TV this whole life, and so when he got older, he started reenacting stuff he watched.
And
so we watching so much, we ended up being the characters now. I'm trying to tell you, you hear me? But we in our own Truman Show. You hear me?
Well, I'm gonna end us with an affirmation.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it fits.
Go ahead.
Okay, it starts off, I am safe. I am safe to grow. Mm-hmm. I am safe to be seen. I love myself enough to change. So with that being said, peace out, y'all. We're going to end out with our favorite artist, Free Soul. We got other artists, but This one right here, you got to start listening
Yeah,
to these words.
I posted played my damn K-Town brother Sex.
We could play one.
Yeah, but he can't hear it, and I want him to be on it.
Oh,
I want
okay.
him to be on it. So I got to get the TikTok right, man, because
Yeah.
But I got him, y'all. We got to promote him. We got to promote our homie. We got to promote. He family.
That's right.
So yeah. So go ahead, do your thing, baby.
All right. Thank y'all.
Yeah. You always lift me up when I'm falling. Yeah, yeah. No running from the love, cause I'm all in. Hey, hey. You know exactly how to drive me crazy. Hey, hey. Feel like I'm flowing in and out of space when I'm high. You know you keep me high. Baby, you got me high. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. You know you keep me high. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. Baby, you got me looking in the mirror saying affirmation. Ritual with spirit, so we stacking paper. Amazonian got body, she a freak of nature. Can't control me deep inside you, digging through your layers. Yeah. Roll one and put it in the air. Like a candy shop, I put you on the different flavors. Spirit buzzing out my body, no, I can't contain it. I'm so proud of your progression, looking so amazing. We in the limelight. Been in the dark for a minute, I'm sitting up all night. In the booth, all of my feelings, I'm thinking about you. To paradise we can go, go, go. Now we in the limelight. Been in the dark for a minute, I'm sitting up all night. In the booth, all of my feelings, I'm thinking about you. To paradise we can go, go, go. Yeah. You always lift me up when I'm falling. Yeah, yeah. No running from the love, cause I'm all in. Hey, hey. You know exactly how to drive me crazy. Hey, hey. Feel like I'm flowing in and out of space when I'm high. You know you keep me high. Baby, you got me high. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. You know you keep me high. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. Baby, you got me. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. Off your love potion. Baby, you got me. You know you keep me. Baby, you got me. You know you keep me. Baby, you got me. Off your love potion. 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 Baby,